As the Governor mentioned, the name of the organization is the Vermont Long-Term Disaster Recovery Group. We've been in existence about 5 days. We haven't had our first meeting yet, but we're about to. And the Governor mentioned our objectives. There are 3 basic objectives. One is planning. The other is recovery resources, the dollars, and of course the third is coordinating. Talking about the dollars, which the Governor mentioned, this is probably the most important aspect of it because there's going to be a huge, huge unmet need at the end of the day. And of course, we hope to backfill whatever isn't going to be there from the state and federal resources. As far as the planning process is concerned, as you know, we have the 3 levels, the federal, state, and the local. Well, we need to be meeting with them to ensure that we understand what the unmet needs are. And then as far as the coordination is concerned, we really want to manage the efforts. This is important for Vermonters, that it's managed appropriately, that we don't have duplication. And organizations or in disasters like this, we can read about those in other states, but we don't want to read about that in Vermont. We want to get it right the first time. The Governor said it right when he said this is a marathon, not a sprint. Underline the Governor. Thank you. However, there is a sprint part of it, and that is we have victims, people that have been displaced as far back as this spring. And now, of course, we have them as a result of Tropical Storm Irene. Bill Elwell, who has his feet on the ground and has been doing this spring, is going to talk a little bit about that later on. It's all about, in our case, we feel, is building the right infrastructure to handle the long-term needs when Vermont has a disaster, or disasters, as we've had this year right here. So it's not going to be a one-year project. This is going to be a multi-year project. Just as a matter of background, the Governor mentioned a few of the things that have been going on. But just yesterday, as I was reading in paper, and I think it was on news, on the TV news as well, the mobile home park in Berlin, Weston, I believe it is. We have 70 homes that need to be rebuilt there, as I understand it. In Waterbury, the latest information I had is that there are over 150 homes that they're in some manner of disrepair or are totally destructive. The analysis that was done for that group alone, again, this is a couple of weeks old, it could be higher, it could be lower, but more likely than not it's going to be higher, was that after all sources of resources were available to help in this recovery process, they're going to be $6 million short. So that gives you an idea of how that goes. Now, I also was interested when I saw the survey that was done by the Vermont Workers Center, which said 78% of mobile home owners are still waiting for FEMA funding. And this man right here on my right has been working hand in glove with FEMA, as has Neil. We also found out that 30% have no housing options. And that's huge. There are a number of mobile homes, as you know, that were in this category. And then, of course, what we all know is about 80% of the folks in those mobile homes are on fixed income. So they don't have the resources to go out and put into more housing. As I also understand, FEMA estimates that there are about 700 homes that have been destroyed or damaged. And as the Governor said, fall is here, and we know what happens after fall. It's winter. So the needs are great. We have places that were hit, and we're going to hear from Ann in a second: Wilmington, Rochester, Brattleboro, Bennington, Rutland, Mendon. Seen some of these. Barry, Northfield. Look what the cadets have done in Northfield. Unbelievable. But this is a sign of what's happening in Vermont. People are stepping up. We've got the National Guard. We have the National Guard from Ohio State, and also Maine and others. I mean, it's just amazing the depth and breadth of the organizations that are stepping in to help us. And I'm one of the folks that believes the cup is always half full, not half empty. But I also am realistic to understand that we have challenges But I also believe with challenges come opportunities. It's not going to be next year or the year after. However, we are going to build up this fund so that we'll be able to handle disasters that are going to happen in the future and do the best we can to take care of all of the damages that have been done to these families and individuals up to this point. Let me close with just one other thing, and that is our fiscal agent, and really our partner, has been the United Way since last spring. We've entered into an agreement with them, but they'll become our fiscal agent, and they handle our funds. You can make gifts through United Way. This is a particularly difficult time for United Way. This is their annual campaign. And when I say United Way, I mean the United Ways of Vermont. This is their annual campaign. So I'm asking everyone to really dig deep, because if you give to this fund and you give to the United Way, that's perfect. It can't be an either-or situation. We really need to contribute to both. The United Ways have been, over the years, the fabric of our community. They take care of the local needs. They provide the local programs and services for so many needy people. So as we go through this process, remember, it's not either or, it's both, and I wish you would all dig deep. Now, I do want to say a couple of words about this next individual, Bill Elwell, who's the vice chair. Bill is an extraordinary person. He's been at this since last spring. He spends 40 or 50 hours each week in addition to his normal duties. I couldn't do that, but this man can do that. And Bill is going to tell you a little bit about what is happening out there, because we've had boots on the ground since spring. So it may be a new organization, but the people in it are well experienced. So thank you.